All right, here's another 2v2 cast from our Friday night 2v2s. I think this was a Friday night 2v2 from the most recent Friday night. Sometimes on Friday nights, the people on the Discord get together and, try and find something fun to do, and we'll play some 2v2s. And tonight, it is starring myself in the blue, Infernal, and my partner is going to be JXP in the teal Vanguard, and our opponents are going to be the red and red, because the orange in this is so red I can't tell them apart. Even the red looks more orange than the red in my mind, but let's not focus on that too much. This is Thanks and Kezic. Thanks and Kezic. And they're both playing Vanguards. And we've opened with some doggy harass, it looked like. But we also had JXP opening with trying to creep the camp with his bobs. And usually he takes the base there, but maybe he's going to go take this base instead and leave that one for me. So that's a strategy you can do in the 1v1. You just grab your overcharged bobs and go attack that base and do a fast expo. You can also do that with imps if you play Infernal. And but I have not opened for Expo necessarily. I've opened Vault Conclave. So despite having that cleared early, and it looks like Thanks and Kezic are going to try and clear out theirs as well. Now, yeah, these two Lancers are from different players, and you can clearly tell that from the color on their shoulder pads. Not at all, actually. But yeah, so that's going to make it a little bit hard. Although one thing I've noticed that's going to come out in the next patch, at least announced, is some color change. We might get green as another color, so that's super cool. So hopefully, and then later on, maybe in custom games like this, we might be able to pick our colors, so it's a little easier. You might be able to pick the colors that your opponents are displayed at, even if they pick pink or whatever. They'll show up as red, so lots of things that might be coming in the near future. Little dog being annoying up here. Just scouting, actually, but maybe trying to bite some ankles here and there. Sorry about that. Take a quick drink of water. And looks like JXP is going for the Expo route. So he does have a barracks here, and he is making Lancers. But he's going for a third base quick. Meanwhile, I'm still just putting down my second base. And Thanks is expoed here. And looks like Kezic has not chosen to go an expo yet. Or no, this is a Lancer. Okay. But they're creeping. And we have Hedgehogs and Lancers, which is actually a pretty good combo. The Lancer's nice tanky in the front line. The Hedgehog's a speedy little back unit. Okay, they're signaling to each other that they're on the way to go attack here this expo. And my units out here maybe kind of see that because they're kind of rallying. And I've engaged a bit. But, yeah. We were all in voice chat at the same time, so I can't remember what we were all talking about. I'm sure we're yimmering and yapping about this. Now, my Fiends, my army cannot deal with this all by itself. And we now got double promotes going down on these Hedgehogs. But there is a buzzsaw cannon down here. So, if we just maybe play against that, we can do alright. Of course, I'm... yeah, and they're signaling to each other very well. I think Jay and I were just talking open. Oh, look at them using those signals. Like they're like, let's retreat. Okay, let's rotate around here. And they're going to say, let's go attack over there. Which, of course, is the better idea. Oh, what is that, a farm? Yeah. They're going to manage to get that farm. I'm not sure what that ping about the upgrade was, but that's interesting. You can do that too. And this is not looking super good. Now they're pushing right into us, and I have an army, but we really need some static D to help us defend here. And this shrine, I think, is going to go down. I am going to try and defend it, though, so I am going to push up. Now, if I could maneuver my army into that healing camp, I might be able to attack from the healing camp. But, yeah, that shrine is not going to be saved, and we see Kezic instead stealing the healing camp. And, well, we have... It's not clear what they're planning, but the hedgehogs zooted around behind. There is a flak cannon down there that we can use to defend. But I'm just going to square off with these units. This is probably... Yeah, I can't take it all, so I'm going to retreat back. Again, there is a flak cannon back here. So, while they've been doing pressure, they did take out that shrine. They're not being able to do the final blow yet, and now they're going to go for this buzzsaw cannon over here. There's a single exo that gets mowed down, but the repair on the buzzsaw is good. Now they take out a habitat. I'm going to take out this Rax. It looks like it might have got cancelled though. Now I don't know if they've gone and scouted yet that there's another secret base over here, and if anything, that's what's really helping us stay alive. JXP is now able to produce, but I've been kind of crippled on single base here, and with, it looks like Kezic's troops here camping out in the healing camp. I've added a Hellborn, although these hedgehogs come in for a flank, get right on top of the Hellborn, and what a quick kill. That was a terrible loss, especially since I'm on one base. That cost me a lot of resources that I'm unable to get back. Now JXP is able to chase back and do a lot of damage to those hedgehogs, but my units have been whittled down, and it's really up to JXP kind of fighting both fronts now. A lot of promotes going down on his exos, a lot of spams going. They need to clean this part up. I don't need to see all those words on the screen. And wow, okay, this army is looking pretty good. The Lancers get in front, but they retreat back. Okay. There is a Vulcan added now. And trying to add a little bit of extra to JXP's, harass, but his exos are just way more maneuverable than my Gaunts until they get Reaper's Rush at least. And because of that, he's actually doing some pretty good damage. I'm happy. One thing I've decided I will do with my units, my brutes in particular, is let them just tank a little bit up front while the exos are able to put down some damage and do some focus fire. So that's sort of what I'm doing here. My Gaunts here are maybe getting in the way of a couple of those exos. Not sure who has the longer range there. They might be very close in terms of range. And it looks like we finally were able to push them back. So... although they've decided, okay, I'm going to go over here. Maybe they know now, they've spotted that this is a base. Wow, so much signaling on their team. They know what they're doing. JXP's cleaning out this one. A little bit of lag there again. Hopefully performance-wise, this is one of the things that's going to be cleaned up in the next patch. That's one thing I'm excited about. Tomorrow. Performance. Usually my machine runs pretty good, but every once in a while we get these little spikes. I call them leg spikes, but this is being purely ran on my own machine right now, I imagine, since this is a replay. So I'm assuming that might be a performance thing instead. Now it looks like JXP is doing a good job of pushing back. Looks like Kezic's units here. And it was Kezic who has gone the bio, and Thanks had gone hedgehogs, and it looks like Thanks is now adding Vulcans and Atlases to that. So we have Thanks going mech and Kezic going bio, now adding Gravens too. And I'm finally getting my second base back up. But unfortunately, quite slowed because my economy was, well, just delayed by not being able to get that base. Luckily for me, JXP, well, one, my partner is JXP, and he's pretty strong. He's definitely the strongest one in this game. And secondly, he's got 4 bases, so hopefully that's enough for him to help buy time for me to get back in it. But this force, ooh, a sticky bomb, pretty good sticky bomb, but this force is definitely overextended here. Trying to get on the Bobs, but the Bobs with their whole position managed to get us around on that one Lancer there. Some pretty good damage coming out of these units. Maneuvering all the way through this base and around the back to almost escape, to be honest. Somehow leading JXP's units in a merry-go-round to get to a point of safety. And now they're going to push forward, but I don't know if it's complete safety. Trying to move those, oh, really nice micro actually to get those sticky bombs not to contact on as many exos as they wanted to. But maybe not as good with this split as some of his exos getting picked away as they move down the ramp. And there is a Vulcan down there, and there's also now tank drops. Now I've tried to come around the other side. There's a huge sticky bomb going down on my Gaunts. Ooh, sticky bombs take out trees. I did not know that. I mean, maybe it makes sense. I think almost all AoE stuff takes out trees. I say almost all, but things like Lancers, I don't think their line attack does. Ooh, that was a sick blast on those Gaunts. Almost all those Gaunts going down. Exo's going down as well. These Atlas is doing a good job. There's now a Sentinel with a stasis on top of the Weavers. The Weavers trying to get in a position where they can do a lash on those Atlases. The Hellborn going down to a couple of Atlas shots. Finally an Atlas getting lashed in and being taken out by the Bio. And they're retreating. They're in retreat there. Although, unfortunately for me, my units got wiped. It's now just JXP's Bio. So, you know, a lot of the benefit there came from that Weaver being able to lash in the tank. This army isn't able to deal with that tank just on its own. Now, I don't see the tank at the moment. There we go. It's in the back. And then we have a sticky bomb. We have another tank blast going down. Unfortunately, that means Exos are dying. Another sticky bomb right in the middle of that Exo group. Yeah, sticky bombs really slow you down. Look how slow they went. And now not a great engage because the units were all split up. Now if he gets in a good position he can engage well, but those Atlas is really what's going to be the problem. Trying to just stand and fight. Actually pretty good. A sticky bomb though right in the middle. Going off. Fortunately contacting a lot of units. Medtech's being focus fire down, stasis on one of the Lancers, and now it's the force out of Thanks and Kezic that's getting the upper hand and is forcing JXP back. But good micro from JXP to try and keep the damage dealing as he retreats. Oh, I was like, where did those units come from? They were stasis, I think, and so they just came out of stasis and get focus fired down. Another sticky bomb right on these lead Lancers, taking out 2 or 3 of the Lancers all at once. And of course slowing down anyone who steps in that icky pile. And now we have Alice on the high ground, going for the Bobs. Really nice micro coming out of Thanks. I think this must be one of his moves. Probably earned some of those skills playing StarCraft Terran. And wow, some more great shots going down. The stasis is on the Weavers. Unfortunately, these Weavers wish they had some backup because by themselves, they're not going to do a great job. They are managing to get some of these units like the Vulcans. But yeah, the Sentinels with their stasis plus the tank drops. It's a really good micro from Thanks. and Kezic. And now up on the high ground, we got jayxp trying to defend. A couple of weavers trying to get into position to help defend. Would help with some shroud over here, to be honest, to help them walk a little faster. But now we've got some infiltrate going down. Now remember, that locks down the top bar ability. But with that Graven being taken out before it completed, it was reinstated. Now, wow, the looks there like the picking up your tank will cancel a lash. Good thing to know. Which makes tank drops, you know, one of the ways that you want to counter atlases is with weavers, but if those evacs can help them stop from being taken out, that's great. Wow, we've got some helicarriers showing up. Now jayxp, this might be exactly what we needed. Although, who knew that stasises can go down on helicarriers? I mean, I imagine everyone knew that, since it, why else wouldn't you be able to? But that's a great use of the stasis. And unfortunately, one of these already went down. Another bombing run, another one has gone down. But nonetheless, we're managing to push this force back thanks to the helicarriers. There's just so many Gravens, it's such a nice mix of Vanguard units here. A lot of them are micro-intensive in terms of the Sentinels and the tank drops, but showing how well they can be used. Ooh, what are these? Hedgehogs with their anti-air ability. So it's like siege tanks, but it's siege hedgehogs now. Very cool. But these helicarriers are starting to make the difference, and we're able to push back. This might be it. Just we can stabilize here. This pressure down south here has kind of been constant. Another helicarrier, some Bobs showing up for repair duties, or maybe they're transferring over here. This base actually got taken out. But maybe we're stabilizing. Although, thanks to saying, let's go take out the rest of this base. It's just some depots that looks like are habitats. And a nice bombing run. Although I was not sure that it got too many kills there. Now this base goes down too. And these units are up on the high ground. We've got... Well, these helicarriers are trying to skirmish. Now there's 6 of them, or 5 of them. The Lancers on the low ground. My unit's in here as well. Single Weaver. But it's just bio. There's not a lot of those high-tech units here to fight against. Well, there's an Atlas. That's going to make things a little bit dangerous for us. If those helicarriers can get a good bombing run off, we might be in a good spot. Although there's a nice Atlas hit. Ooh, another nice Atlas hit. Atlas on the high ground. Nice bombing run, although a lot of units dodge out of the way. Another Atlas. Trying my best to dodge them. But I'm getting cornered in the back here. Another bombing run. Ooh, pretty good actually. If we had better targeting reticles on those so that you could see, you might be able to better dodge them. That's probably a debuff, but for everyone facing helicarriers, we all want that. And my units unfortunately got cleaned up there. Another sweet bombing run, but we have tier 3 upgraded exos with that infinity bonus, or infinites, or what is it? Invincible bonus is what I'm trying to say there. Let's call it infinity life. That just means when they take, I think, damage that will kill them, they get like a 1-second shield. Like we just saw it go off on that one exo there. Which kind of keeps them alive. And it probably has a cooldown, so they can't stay alive forever, but it's certainly convenient. Some Weavers trying to finally try and get on those Atlases, but again, their micro from tanks is just really good to keep them alive. Meanwhile, jayxp is doing the best he can to continue to micro his helicarriers and get bombing runs in whenever possible. But it's just been some really good micro from Thanks as well to keep his units alive, or sorry, Kezic as well, I should say, to keep that bio alive. And I think those hedgehogs in the back are doing a good job of anti-air, which is clearing out some of those bombers. And I think we've really done our best to try and hold them off, but this really slow push out of Thanks and Kezic has now destroyed 2 or 3 different bases. It's cool to see that, yeah, JXP has gone ahead and rebuilt this base, but it looks like Thanks is building that one, and that is his final GG out of the two of us. And, well, that was a really fun game to play with JXP. I'm sorry I let him down. He should have won that game.